CES 2017 has certainly been an interesting show, and Dell actually had quite a bit on display. Maybe the most interesting thing in their space was this monitor, which really does take ultra high definition to the next level. So this is the ultra sharp UP3218K. It is the first 32-inch 8K PC monitor, and it's absolutely stunning to see in person. Let me tell you guys, pictures don't do this thing any justice at all. But before we move on, quick message from our sponsor.
This show coverage is possible thanks to NVIDIA, Gigabyte, Fantex, and NCIX.
To put the Ultra Sharp into perspective, it boasts 4 times the resolution of a standard 4K monitor, which tends to result in mind-blowing sharpness. This is 280 ppi of pure picture goodness, backstopped by a pre-calibrated premium color 10-bit panel, which has the capability to hit 1.07 billion colors, 100% Adobe RGB, and 100% sRGB. You have to see this monitor in action to believe something like this exists. You can literally put your face up on the screen without seeing individual pixels. It's that good. Dell was showing a number of images on it during their demo to us, and we were able to take a look at a picture of an Italian town actually, and count the bricks on every individual building without zooming in. Another benefit is this monitor allows for color profiles for the 7680 by 1430 screen to be locked into its memory independently of the GPU input, a factor that is a key selling point for some professionals. As you can see, there are a few limitations. 8K takes a ton of horsepower to drive properly, and Dell was using a high-end precision workstation to simply display 2D content on it. Due to the resolution, dual DisplayPort inputs are required, and the panel can't make it over 60 Hz due to the display's input bandwidth limitations. Now, some of you may be thinking we're just seeing the tip of the 4K iceberg and it's already been supplanted by 8K, but don't be so hasty. Even though Dell has begun implementing this technology into a single monitor, it is still phenomenally expensive, challenging to implement, and really meant for very specific niches like medical architecture and cartography. As a matter of fact, even Windows 10 and many applications don't even natively support such a high resolution, and as a result, toolbars and icons become microscopic on the screen. From my perspective, this is a great tool for presentation purposes, but until there is a wider application support for beyond 4K formats, those 33 million pixels may be wasted. The other interesting display was the S2718D, which uses Quad HD technology on an Infinity Edge IPS panel and HDR support for a great looking image with wide viewing angles. Even though the panel had one of the best combinations of color saturation and black depth we saw in Dell's display space, the real shocker with this monitor is how thin it is. According to Dell, this is overall the thinnest monitor on the market today, and that's certainly not hard to believe. Others may have a slightly thinner panel, but since all of the S2718D's components were moved into its sleek machined aluminum base plate, the entire profile could have been shrunken down to the thickness of a few sheets of paper. Meanwhile, the hinge design allows for some adjustability, and connectivity can be achieved through either a USB-C connector or HDMI. It achieves that HDR spec not through a standardized HDR10, but rather Dell's own take on the format, which they feel delivers even more accurate colors. This could be a perfect monitor for a collaborative space since it looks as good from the front as it does from the back. I'm Ibor with Hurricane X. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next CES video.